Hello, welcome back to the Sunday drive. I didn't think we were going to do one this week. We didn't do one last week because it was drill weekend, so here we are. Breaking news, I guess. The Daytona 500 flyover by the Thunderbirds was super early, like middle of the song early. And that's why I'm here, because it started raining and you can't watch the race while it's raining. But yeah, it was early. The idea for a flyover is you're supposed to fly over at the home of the Brave. On the Brave is when you want to fly over. And it's based off of timing, which is when the singer usually sings the song, like a minute 28, minute 24, depending on how they do. I've had flyovers where the singer got nervous, they started fast, and the singer, instead of a minute 28, it was a minute 24, so you have to push up timing or all that stuff. I'm sure there's some mitigating circumstance of why they were so ridiculously early, but it wasn't even close. And for a professional demo team, that's going to be something that's probably going to get talked about. And we're going to talk about it probably tomorrow on the show with Gonky, just how bad it was. I'm sure there's something, something obviously happened that made it that early, but wow. I mean, usually a little late, a little early, nobody says anything, but middle of the song's pretty heinous. Speaking of which, another lap around the sun, and I spent yesterday on my couch. I had wanted to do the Arca race at Daytona. I've tried 3 years in a row since 2023. 2023, I thought I was approved, couldn't get funding, so we didn't do it. 2024, couldn't get the sponsorship to happen fast enough. And then this year, I was going to self-fund it, and Arca said no. Arca said that they wanted to see more Arca short track experience. So my time on the track, running, road course at Daytona, road courses other place, they think that short track racing is what I have. So they said no. And watching the race yesterday, I mean, they're the sanctioning body. They're going to do whatever they want to do, but it's kind of like, all right, seriously? I mean, they had 40 or 41 cars and only 13 finished on the lead lap at Daytona. Half the field didn't even finish. So I don't know kind of what that is. I know people are going to ask about Cletus McFarlane. I mean, I had that whole YouTube thing as part of my backing because I probably had one of the biggest followings previously. But once Cletus is in, he's the show. And rightfully so, because, I think he's a great dude. I love his helicopter content. He was super entertaining. I was pulling for him on the race. I'm super happy for him. But I don't have an argument with 400,000 subscribers versus 4 million, it's not even close. So there's no hey, I've got a following, I can bring this to you. That's kind of already been done. And there's also Ryan Roulette or Roulet. He's the Air Force pilot, so, yeah, I'm a fighter pilot, he's a B-52 guy, but there's no, argument for that. I understand why they did it. It's their biggest race, and they don't want it to be even more of a clown show than what it ended up being. But I personally would have preferred if they had put the decision on Bobby, because Bobby's a 7-time Daytona winner. He's the team owner, and, him vouching for me should have meant a lot. Because he watched me on the test, he talked to me, we've talked about this. One thing Cletus brought up was that nobody can hold a line, and everybody, he's like, hold the wheel, man, brother. I've seen that in iRacing, and that's just something that I think, because it's such a young group of drivers, I'm not saying I would do any better, because obviously I'm the one sitting on the couch, but the reason people, we could call it PIO, pilot-induced oscillation. The reason there's the oscillations is because people try to, they get out of phase with what they're flying off of, because all super speedway racing is basically formation flying, right? You're trying to be close formation off the car in front of you. And I see this in iRacing, and I've told Doug this because we've talked about it. What will happen is people will try to follow the car in front of them to the point that every little change creates a snake. You know, you're at the tail end of the whip the farther back you go, and that's what leads to issues because nobody can hold a straight line. What you should do is hold a reference point and freeze that and just let it settle, because just getting out of phase a little bit will cause chain reactions in the back, versus if you just like held the yellow line, for example, on the bottom, it would dampen itself out and eventually you would be in line, and you're not going to lose that much of a draft by doing it. So, you know, I think some of that is just, they just don't have the experience and they don't know what they're doing. And it's unfortunate because in some ways I do and some days I don't. I mean, I'm not saying I would go out there and win, which I'd love to. I mean, that would be the goal, but I would definitely go out there and be safe, or at least I hope so. Now, you know, hopefully I'm not eating my words and one day I go out there and you know, I'm just as much of a clown show as everybody else. You know, a lot of the stuff is you just don't know what you don't know, and maybe Arca's right for declining. I don't know. But anyway, that's kind of what happened. I'm happy for Cletus that he got to race. Sad that he got wrecked out twice by the same person, but not a very good race in general. I mean, the last lap was pretty good, but I don't know. Hopefully the Daytona's good once they finally get racing. It's raining right now. But I got to fly in the C-130 last week, and hopefully we'll have a video of that. It was fun. We did a low level to an airdrop to a combat offload, and then formation flying up and down the coast. So it was really cool to get to see him do that. Totally different world, you know. It was a 3.5-hour sortie, and they're like, yeah, that's our short sortie. And I'm like, I'm a 1.5 kind of guy, you know. I'm a fighter guy. We don't fly that long unless we're like at war doing refueling ops and stuff like that, but it's just, you know, crazy. Also have the accident investigation board report for the F-16 crash at Holloman, engine issues. So kind of some stuff they didn't even know existed or didn't know would be a problem. So that was kind of interesting to go over. That'll be coming out this week. And March is going to be busy, Verticon. So I'll be doing a panel with the Verticon folks on the 12th, I think. And then Champ Car Daytona at the end of the month, NOLA with the Battle Scarred folks at the beginning of April. And I've got to go back for Recurrent for the 787. So a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff going on. If you didn't notice, I'm on MSN now, which is awesome. A lot of new viewers and subscribers and stuff, so I'm appreciative of that. Luna's still doing great. The Lunamobile is still in the shop for maintenance, so we haven't done any sheriff's office stuff, but she did come out with me to drill and got to meet some of the people of the 403rd and bring Luna's joy to their lives, which was a lot of fun and really cool. You know, I really love that wing and the people and my job. It's just, you know, just so much fun. So, but that's it for the update. You know, the Arca thing is disappointing, but I understand it. At the end of the day, it's their decision. I mean, they might be right. I don't know. You know, and the older I get, the farther away it gets, which is sad. But, you know, sometimes it's just not meant to be. We had a sign in our squadron bathroom that said the world needs ditch diggers too. And basically what that means is, you know, not everybody's cut out to be, you know, everything. You know, I say make them tell you no, and sometimes the answer is no, and you're just not a fit for it. That doesn't mean you stop trying. It's just sometimes you go, okay, yeah, that's it. But happy for everybody that got to attend. Sucks to the ones that got wrecked for absolutely no reason. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night on the Mover and Gonky show, and hopefully that gets remonetized, because I still haven't hit 500 miles on this car. With the weather lately, it's just been a challenge, but I will eventually, which has also been a challenge for flying the helicopter. I've only flown once this year, so hopefully weather starts to clear up, get more time in the Z06, drive the ZR1 again. I haven't driven that in a couple weeks, and do some more helicopter flying. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this quick Sunday drive with Mover. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, had a great Valentine's Day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.